Major breaking news from overseas. Explosions ringing out across Iran's capital as Israel claims it's attacking Iran. People in Tehran awaking to the blast. Israel's defense minister announcing a, quote, special situation over the attacks. They say schools would be closed on Friday in Israel. No immediate word on what exactly was struck. No immediate comment from the White House. But we are on the precipice of a war in the Middle East.
اینجا زدن، اینجا هم زدن، این لویزانم زدن، پشتم زدن، پشت لویزانم زدن.
We are getting remarks right now from the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's listen in on Live Now.
Islamic regime's most significant enrichment facility and a large portion of its ballistic missile arsenal. More is on the way. The regime doesn't know what hit them. They don't know what will hit them. The nation of Iran and the nation of Israel have been true friends since the days of Cyrus the Great. And the time has come for you to unite around your flag and your historic legacy by standing up for your freedom from an evil and oppressive regime. It has never been weaker. This is your opportunity to stand up and let your voices be heard. Woman, life, freedom. Zan, Zandegi, Azadi. As I said yesterday and many times before, Israel's fight is not with you. It's not with you, the brave people of Iran, whom we respect and admire. Our fight is with our common enemy, a murderous regime that both oppresses you and impoverishes you. Brave people of Iran, your light will defeat the darkness. I'm with you. The people of Israel are with you.
中方高度关注以色列袭击伊朗，对有关行动可能带来的严重后果深感担忧。中方反对侵犯伊朗主权、安全和领土完整，反对激化矛盾、扩大冲突，地区局势再度骤然升温，不符合任何一方利益。中方呼吁有关各方多做有利于促进地区和平稳定的事，避免紧张事态进一步升级。中方愿为推动局势缓和发挥建设性作用。
It is obviously a rapidly evolving situation. This was a unilateral action by Israel. So I think it is crucial for many allies, including the United States, to work as we speak to de-escalate. I know they're doing that. And I think that is now the first order of the day.
Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is alive and being regularly briefed on the evolving situation following Israel's overnight strikes on Tehran and other key targets. This was confirmed by a senior Iranian security source who spoke to news agency Reuters on Friday. The Israeli air assault, which struck multiple military and nuclear-related sites across Iran early on Friday, has significantly escalated tensions in the already volatile region. The attacks reportedly killed several top Iranian military officials and nuclear scientists. Ayatollah Khamenei condemned the strikes in a strong statement released by Iran's state-run IRNA news agency on Friday morning. He accused Israel of committing a grave crime on Iranian soil and warned of harsh consequences. The Iranian media reported the statement, quoting, "In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, great nation of Iran. The Zionist regime opened its dirty and bloody hand to a crime in our beloved country this morning and revealed its evil nature by striking residential centers more than ever before. The regime must expect severe punishment. The powerful hand of the Islamic Republic's armed forces will not abandon it, God willing. Several commanders and scientists were martyred in the enemy attacks. Their successors and colleagues will immediately resume their duties, God willing. With this crime, the Zionist regime prepared a bitter and painful fate for itself and will definitely receive it." Iran's foreign ministry, meanwhile, also responded sharply, asserting that the country reserves the right to retaliate. In a statement, it declared that Iran will not hesitate to defend the nation and directly accused the United States of complicity in the attack. The ministry argued that the airstrikes could not have been executed without US knowledge and support. The statement read, "Such acts of aggression by the Zionist regime against Iran could not have occurred without coordination and authorization from the United States." Accordingly, the US government, as the regime's primary backer, is also responsible for the dangerous consequences of this reckless escalation. In an urgent diplomatic push, Iran has also called on the United Nations member states to collectively condemn the Israeli strikes. It urged the international community to act swiftly to prevent further escalation and to hold Israel accountable. The situation remains tense, with both nations on high alert, as the regional and global leaders watch closely. The risk of broader conflict in the Middle East looms large.
Russia must announce mass mobilization and enlist at least 500,000, preferably 1 million people into the army to avoid sharing Iran's fate, and deputy head of the main military political directorate of Russia's defense ministry. According to him, World War III has already begun and entered a new phase. We need to prepare in advance at least 500,000 and ideally 1 million people. Enlist them and start training, Alodinov said, so that no one dares to play games with us, the way they've played with all other states. Now, even with Iran, we must, believe me, unite, unite, unite on all levels, he added. Alodinov has been closely involved with Russia's effort to win back territory controlled by Ukraine in the Kursk region. He is also seen as a probable successor for sickly pro-Putin Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov. Earlier today, Alodinov reposted a message from Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei demanding severe retribution against Israel. He made clear with his mass mobilization call that he felt able to publicly express his own view to Putin about the need for a giant call-up to break the stalemate in the war with Ukraine. Alodinov's comments come after Israel attacked at least 6 military bases around Tehran, including Pachin, residential homes at 2 highly secure complexes for military commanders, and multiple residential buildings around Tehran. Iranian officials called the strikes targeted assassinations. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, said Israel will face a severe punishment over its attack on the country. Khamenei issued a statement carried by the state-run IRNA news agency. It confirmed that top military officials and scientists had been killed in the attack. Apti Alodinov earlier called for a general mobilization in the country, suggesting that a couple of million people could be brought in for a possible invasion of Europe. The statement came in response to an address by French President Emmanuel Macron, who labelled Russia as a threat to the EU and did not rule out the deployment of EU soldiers in Ukraine after peace agreements are reached. In September 2024, Russian President Vladimir Putin increased the size of the Russian army. According to his decree, it currently amounts to 2,389,130 people, including 1,500,000 military personnel. We are people who have a great historical responsibility. If such a situation arises, we should already think about general mobilization, gather an army of about a couple of million and put them, Europeans, in a position from which they will never get out. And after they want to clash with us, Europe and most of the European states will cease to exist, Alodinov said.
The Ukrainian armed forces have struck a military column of the occupying Russian army near the occupied city of Makiivka in the Donetsk region. Ukrainian telegram channels reported this. As a result of the strike carried out by the HIMARS multiple launch rocket system, a KAMAZ military truck and 4 buses carrying servicemen were blown up and disabled. As can be seen from the footage taken and shared by the Russian servicemen in the area, the KAMAZ truck burned after the strike. The bodies of the dead servicemen can also be seen in the area. There were also dead and wounded among the occupying soldiers in the buses. It is said that at least 20 servicemen were killed during the incident, and a large number of servicemen were injured.
Мы не успели эвакуироваться. Подбила. Машина начала. Вот дырка. КамАЗ. Сейчас, Лен, подожди. Надо оружие все собрать. Пацанов. Здесь потушили, сейчас я еще этих пожарных попрошу. Ну я во сколько мог тушил, вытащил. Здесь такое ощущение, прям в автобус по ходу попало. Видишь, вот оно. Вот автобус 1683, который сгорел. Походу в колесо. Он, видишь, впереди, это. Вот вперед, походу. Вот в него и попала, блядь, она сюда. Правильно, она в него прилетела, видишь, а потом уже нас и хуйнула, блядь. А вон стоят Уралы, вон они стоят. Так, и наш автобус первый, который нас ёбнул, но мы его завели первый. Эти не успели завести, не заводятся. Сейчас будем пробовать.
Ukrainian forces are gradually driving Russian troops back from parts of Sumy Oblast, President Volodymyr Zelensky said on June 12, amid escalating cross-border assaults in the region. Today, there was a report from Commander-in-Chief Alexander Syrsky, the front and, above all, the Pokrovsk direction, the Kursk operation, the border area of Sumy Oblast, Zelensky said in a video address. Our units in Sumy Oblast are gradually pushing back the occupiers. Thank you to each of our soldiers, sergeants, and officers for this result. The statement follows weeks of intensified Russian offensives along the northeastern border. Russian troops have advanced into Sumy Oblast since Ukraine's withdrawal from most of its positions in Russia's Kursk Oblast in March. Ukrainian presidential advisor Mikhailo Podolyak said there had been a concentration of Russian men and equipment in the Sumy region following months of Ukrainian operations across the border in Kursk. He advised caution to establish details of the situation on the ground. Zelensky rejected claims of Russian advance as a Russian narrative, insisting that Ukraine's forces have been holding off a renewed offensive for nearly 3 weeks. The Russians are not so successful, to say the least, Zelensky said. His remarks come amid a surge in Russian military operations across Ukraine's eastern and northern regions, including Russian claims of territorial gains in Dnipropetrovsk and Sumy Oblasts, assertions Kiev denies. The popular Ukrainian military blog Deep State, which charts the position of Russian troops using open-source materials, reported Russian gains in recent days around villages inside the border. Other Ukrainian bloggers said on June 12 that Russian forces had advanced to within 20 kilometers of the city of Sumy and were likely to move southward on villages to secure high ground outside the city. Russian media reported similar advances through the region. One military site, Voyeno Obozreny, said Russian forces had made significant progress and were now positioned south of a major highway.